Joseph Pavone here. He is Clevis Murray back at TD Garden. This is the Garden Report. Clevis, should the Celtics just go out and shut down Kyrie Irving? Am I crazy into thinking that that might be the best move right now? I mean, maybe not right now, but maybe within a week or two after you face the Wizards. I mean, I know the Celtics do have those 2 games against the Toronto Raptors. But at this point, I mean, what's more important? Going after the #1 seed or making sure that your team is 100% heading into the postseason?
I mean, if you're the Celtics, I think that's an easy question right there. You want your franchise player to be healthy. I don't think they need to shut down Kyrie per se. Maybe, play him every other game or maybe reduce his minutes by maybe 5 or so. But I think you still want to get some running on the court. I think you still want to be prepared for the playoffs. But I just don't think the need to shut him down is a requirement just because of his knee. Depending on the severity of it. We don't know the severity of it. Kyrie Irving did ask for some time off. But if he doesn't need that much time off, I think you just rest him every other game. Maybe when you approach like the 70s or so, you start resting him there and just go from there.
I just feel like it's so hard to say what's going to happen, what's going to transpire. I mean, all these teams are so close together.
Yeah.
1 game, 2 game here.
Tight chase.
I mean, you could see the Cavs drop to 4th. They could, stay at 3.
Yeah.
They could drop to 5. Indiana could be
maybe
a
6.
second-round opponent. You know what I mean? Like Sunday night, we could have seen a preview into the second-round matchup for the Celtics. I mean, there's no telling what's going to happen, but I think the best move heading into this last 15 games of the season is to make sure your squad's 100%.
Yeah, I think that's the best case scenario. I mean, you have Al Horford's sick, you have Jaylen Brown who's recovering from a concussion, and you have Kyrie Irving's knee. Then you have Marcus Smart who today said he has a sprained thumb. It's just injuries on injuries are piling on with the team. I think it is time to start resting guys a little bit more, just depending on if it's required or not for them to need it.
You can also get these second unit guys more reps,
very true.
On the silver lining sort of thing. If you're looking at guys sitting down and guys like Jaylen Brown and Kyrie Irving out for quite some time or for a little bit here and there, you still have guys off the bench that can get those reps in, you feel more comfortable, get their confidence level up, and then full roster heading into the postseason, you have everybody at a high level.
And I agree with you that on 100% because we've seen Brad isn't scared to play his young guys. He played Semi Ojeleye tonight, Abdul Nader, Shane Larkin.
He always seems to find minutes for Semi, almost always, right? I feel like and I feel like the whole crowd, or I should say the whole bench, really cheers on Shemi because I think he puts on some good performances in practice. He must.
I mean, when you have a football body playing basketball, I think you should be getting some PT.
Yeah.
And then Larkin, he's all out hustle, his speed. Then Nader's always an interesting guy. He's a two-way guy, on the court at least. And I just think it shows Brad's confidence in the team that I'll play you, just be ready. And I think if you play them more towards the end of this regular season, I think it just shows that just be ready in the playoffs, just in case if your number is called.
And I think Larkin's going to be, this is kind of a big spot for him. When Kyrie, in games that he can't play, Larkin's going to get those minutes, and those minutes are always there for him. We saw what happened on the road trip when he got the start, and we saw him perform at a level that, he really controlled the offense and did a really good job of not only scoring, but also facilitating and controlling the tempo.
Yeah, and I think with Larkin, he's the feel-good story of the team. He's in his mid to late 20s on the team. You're out of the NBA last year. You're on a 1-year deal. You kind of proved to the league that I deserve to be here, and I can play on a contending team like the Boston Celtics. And I think that's what Larkin's been doing so far this year.
Well, we'll see how the Celtics team bounces back from adversity, from a health standpoint. I mean, we'll see if Al Horford will be back in action Wednesday night. We'll also see what happens with Kyrie Irving, who, if I had to guess, probably going to sit that one out. And I could probably say the same thing about Jaylen Brown. So, I mean, these guys are banged up here. The starting 5 is banged up. But like you said, this team is deep, and I think this is a great test for this team heading against a Washington Wizards team that always gives these Celtics quite a game. These two always go at it.
And without John Wall, too, it'd be interesting to see how both teams play without their star guards.
What if John Wall does play? That'd be even more interesting. Right?
That'd be an interesting storyline. I mean, John Wall's had his sister of knee issues, but
yeah, that's right.
It remains unknown to see how that'll turn out.
Well, this report is brought to you by RX Bar. Head over to rxbar.com/CLNS where you can save 25% off your first purchase. If you haven't already, head over to rxbar.com/CLNS and get 25% off your first purchase. That's going to do it for us here at TD Garden. I am Joseph Pavone. He is Clevis Murray. This has been the Garden Report for CLNS Media.